Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Max Velocity weather forecast. And in today's forecast, we'll be breaking down another pattern change that'll be coming to the United States this week, and this will bring the potential for another Arctic blast across parts of the United States. In addition to this, we'll also see some snow in parts of the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, and perhaps even the East Coast of the United States. I'll be giving you the latest breakdown on everything that you need to know in this forecast, but let's begin with what's happening across the United States today, and we'll begin with the East Coast. And this is an area that we've actually already seen wintry precipitation over the past 24 to 48 hours. We've been watching for a little bit of snowfall back up in New England this morning and during the afternoon hours. There's been some light snow overall. We've seen a few inches of snow in parts of Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, but most of this activity is quickly lifting off to the north and east, and this disturbance will basically be done after today is over. There's also a little threat of severe weather this afternoon across parts of Florida. Again, by no means is there anything major here. Actually, yesterday we had 2 confirmed tornadoes in parts of Florida near the Port St. Lucie area. So that area saw a couple tornadoes yesterday afternoon, which is a bit of a surprise with the environment that we have down here. But there is going to be another chance for severe weather this afternoon, but it should remain pretty marginal overall. Notice again, we have this stretch of cloud cover from about Mississippi back into the northeast. Again, that is all from the wintry precipitation, which a lot of this is going to be winding down throughout the day today. Behind this, we have a lot more dry air that is coming to much of the country, in addition to the Midwest and as well as much of the Great Plains. Drier conditions are coming, but for some areas this will not last long because we have a low pressure system back up in Canada, and what this is going to do is actually going to come right back down through the Midwest and as well as into the Northeast as we get closer to the tail end of this week, and this will be responsible for another Arctic blast and as well as the threat for maybe a little bit more snowfall in parts of the Midwest and even the Ohio Valley, by the way. And this is the same low pressure system, by the way, that went through the Midwest with the winter storm a few days ago. So this is actually the same sort of system, and we will be talking about that disturbance in just a minute. Now, I do want to point out this is the observed snowfall that we've seen over the past 72 hours. Areas near Nashville, by the way, saw as much as 10 inches of snow from this winter weather event, which is just crazy to say the least. I mean, again, this event was expected to drop 3 to 6 inches of snow across parts of Tennessee, maybe an isolated 8 to 10 inch reading back over in northern Mississippi and southwest Tennessee. We did end up seeing that, but again, further up here to the north and east, we actually saw a lot of snowfall, even back into eastern Kentucky, back through West Virginia. This is a bit more expected, but we had a few areas that saw a surprising amount of snowfall, and then back over in Georgia, mostly just freezing rain and ice. Very small sliver there of 1 or maybe 2 counties seeing around a coating to an inch of snow. So overall, again, a really impactful event, brought a lot of snowfall, and definitely a rare event that will go down in the history books for many of these states. All right, let's talk more about the weather pattern that'll be impacting the United States over the next several days, and to look at that, we are going to look at the jet stream. This gives us an idea of the weather patterns that are happening across the United States. And right now, the jet stream is pretty crazy because we have our polar jet stream that's dipping all the way down here through the Midwest. That's leaving a lot of the cold air in place across many parts of the United States, but obviously the Midwest dealing with wind chills 30 below zero. That is, frigid. Back further to the north, though, this is your low pressure system, and this is an upper level low that is actually fairly intense. It's a very large low pressure system, and this system is the one that is going to be sitting there for probably another day or two, and then it's eventually going to start to drift further to the east. So notice this as we go into Wednesday into Thursday. That low pressure system will move a bit further out to the east. This will open the door for a small disturbance to go through parts of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. We're actually going to have a couple different disturbances, and both of these will bring their fair share of snow. And overall, the snow probably not going to be very impactful because it's not a major storm by any means, but it will be something to watch for. This is what we're looking at going into Friday. So a low pressure system will start to drag down here through the Ohio Valley and the Midwest, bringing a little bit of snowfall. And then over in the Northeast, we'll be watching for perhaps a little bit of snow up there as well, in addition to some rain. Once we go to Saturday into Sunday, the jet stream will start to go further out here to the east. So notice that's your jet stream. This will allow actually for a pretty strong southerly wind and pulling moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico by around Sunday into Monday. And what this is going to do is allow for showers and storms across the southern and central plains. And this will also open the door for much warmer weather, even into the Midwest, because the jet stream is going to be lifted so far up to the north. This is basically going to open the door for much warmer weather, especially in the Midwest, where temperatures could get into the 30s and maybe even 40s by the time we go into early next week. So some really good news if you're looking forward to at least some of that snow melting. Now, in terms of the future radar, what's going to be happening here over the next few days, we will continue to see some lake effect snow across parts of western New York near Buffalo and Watertown. This is what we're looking at going closer to Thursday. Notice a couple of different shots of snow. This will be Thursday around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be looking at maybe a little bit of snow in Kentucky, maybe a little mixture back down in western Tennessee, and that'll be an area to watch for perhaps, again, an additional coating to an inch or two. And then back over here in Ohio, a little bit of snow, but really a more meaningful snow area, I think, overall, will be this disturbance back over in South Dakota and Nebraska going into Thursday afternoon. This one will be moving to the east toward the Midwest, and that could bring a little bit of snowfall as well. Notice a low pressure system will start to strengthen a little bit here across areas in the Ohio Valley. Low pressure system will be located in North Carolina, but the majority of the snowfall would be north of that. So we'll be watching for some light snow overall going into Thursday and Friday, and by the time we go into Saturday, we might get a little bit of snow in southern New England, but that still remains uncertain, so make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep you posted with that as it starts to evolve. Notice this by Sunday, dominant high pressure system in the United States, but by Monday, this should open the door for a lot of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, and this could actually lead to some showers and storms. I'm not ruling out the threat of severe weather in the southern plains quite yet going into Monday and Tuesday, but the threat still seems to be somewhat low, but it is going to be something to monitor closely. And as we go closer to Wednesday, this would lift off to the north and northeast, and we might even get a little bit of a wintry mix or snow event in the upper Midwest out of this by mid next week, but obviously it's still 7 to 8 days out. Stay tuned. Things might change a little bit as we get closer. Here's the hour by hour in the Midwest as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Again, notice it's going to be pretty dry overall. Overnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we might get a little trail of snow showers going across areas in northern Illinois back through southern Michigan. Better shot of snow, though, will exist as we go into late Thursday night into Friday morning. Again, light to moderate snow possible. We might get a little bit more lake effect snow, so don't rule it out if you're in northwest Indiana. We might get a pocket of moderate snow, and that could lead to a few inches of snow there. But overall, most of the snow, again, will be quite light here across the Midwest. Not going to be anything too crazy. Notice the snowfall accumulation. The European model is indicating a coating to 1 inch for many areas. Ohio in the 1 to 3 inch category. However, I would not be surprised if we get a little bit more snowfall out of this event, maybe slightly heavier, a little bit more moisture. We actually could get closer to 1 to 3 inches of snow here in the Midwest. So keep that in mind. Early indications, though, keeping it around a coating to 2 inches of snow. Now, the big weather pattern change is not just the snow potential and the rain. We're also looking at very cold temperatures. Notice this as we go into Thursday of this week. All this cold air up here to the north is just waiting to unleash across the United States for a second time. And it will, by the way, as we go into Thursday night into Friday. We're going to get a cold air mass to move right across the Great Plains, the Midwest, and much more impactful as well to the East Coast. Those areas have not really seen much of this Arctic air yet. That'll go into the East Coast as we go into this weekend, and then we'll eventually warm up as we go into next week. We are likely to start to see the potential for record-breaking temperatures in terms of high temperatures across parts of the Midwest and the Great Lakes. Complete flip of the switch there, and I'll be talking about more details on that in our next forecast. Here's what we're looking at in terms of temperatures as we go into Thursday morning. So again, things are going to start to warm back up a little bit. Notice above freezing temperatures will start to creep into southern Illinois, but the areas that have already seen snow, you're not going to see above average temp or above freezing temperatures, excuse me, until probably around Monday or Tuesday. So notice this Monday afternoon, some areas will get back into the 30s. We could be back into the 40s, by the way, as we get closer to Wednesday of next week. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. We'll be keeping you posted with the latest as everything evolves across the United States. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe if you've not already.